Okay, hi there. I just wanted to jump on this and just pour out my heart about what I feel. I don't know if you have heard, there was a fire at Ebeano supermarket that was allegedly started by a 9-year-old, and that's like big deal. I am not judging the parents, but this is me just assuming that the child was playing with fire, like literally playing with fire, and then it got out of hand, like. And this brings me, it's a parenting concern for me, because that is a physical fire. Many of us have kids who, if we're not careful, will light up a fire that, if we're not careful, will consume them and consume us. Now, what am I really talking about? Many parents now, and it's basically discipline and giving children consequences. Let me just say, not even giving consequences, it's about discipline. Now, I don't know how many of you have heard people say that, don't mind this my child, or every time we're dropping my phone, you step on my phone. Or someone say, I still saw a video today, like a parent was saying that the child likes stepping on a laptop, so the screen is broken. Or somebody says that a child plays with lighter, a child plays with the gas cooker, a child plays with this, a child plays with that. And I'm just like, what is going on with us? And I'm particularly addressing young parents like myself, like young people like myself. You're young and you're a parent, and it doesn't matter even if your parent is your child rather is a baby. This cuts across. Now, one of the very first things I'd like to say, I'm a Christian, and I believe that the sin nature is inherent. It's a nature. It's not, sin is not about what you do, it's about who you are, literally. Our kids are born sinners. So children have that thing in them. And as a parent, it is your responsibility to shape your child. God has called you to shape your child. Now, why am I saying this? And this is not a rant, because before I start sounding like a rant, I hear people say things and do things that just wow me. Like, our generation, I don't know, what generation am I, Zed? I think I'm Generation Z. Am I Z? We complain a lot about the Generation Z, there are a lot of, I feel like if we're not careful, the Alpha generation, that's the generation of the children that are 5 or below, they're going to be worse off if we do not do better, really. Parents don't discipline their kids. Like, it's so sad. And when I'm talking about discipline here, I need to say this emphatically. I'm not talking about hitting your children. I personally do not subscribe to that. I believe that there are better ways of correcting and discipline. Discipline is discipleship. You're trying to raise a disciple. Please permit me, however I'm talking, please. Discipline is discipleship. You're literally just discipling your child. Now, many parents do not have a discipline plan, and I have to talk about this discipline plan like a lot. The children get away with stuff. How many kids will eat another child and the parents will not just overlook it? Like, you don't overlook such things. Your child cannot eat another person's child or even their sibling and just let it slide. You have to address it. You have to have a home. Your home has to have a culture. A culture of, in this home, this is what is acceptable and this is what is unacceptable. And I talk about discipline plan. What is your discipline plan? What kind of child are you raising, or what kind of child do you want to raise? You start to raise your child, start biting your nipple as a baby. Yeah, people say, oh, it's just a child, it's just the teeth, and I understand that, and that is possible. But what do? I don't believe in slapping the child. I believe you can talk to it like, that's not nice. You don't bite mommy when you're sucking. It starts with that. You don't just let sleep think your child, you bought a toy for your child and your child flings it. What do? Instead of eating the child, literally just tell the child the consequence. Every time you're angry and you fling things, you lose access to them. I think parents are too scared. You just want to feel, or you want to look good. Yeah, many parents just want to look good. They want to look like they are good parents. Parenting is not about looking good, if I can put it. It's not like you're not trying to win a popularity or cool mom contest here. You're trying to raise a responsible adult. And I think that when we start raising our children with the consequence of what we're doing right now, if I raise my child bearing in mind that whatever it is I do today will affect my child in 20 years time, I think it would be more strategic, if I can put it that way, in raising our kids. What do I mean by this? If your child flings if you're a parent and you're always telling me that my phone screen is bad. You know how you know how these children are now. My son has taken my phone and is, excuse me, why should your child even have access to your phone in the first instance? It is that serious. It's your phone, it's your property. Let me say the way my son's school teacher would say, like, you're a child, you don't need it. Really. You have to create boundaries, you have to create discipline, and there has to be consequences for actions. Yeah? If your child eats another child, what is your reaction? If your child goes somewhere, I don't know if you've gone to a place. Like, my husband was telling me the other day that they went to a salon. He went to have, my son and my husband, they went to get their hair cut. And they met some kids, and these kids were literally just jumping everywhere, jumping on the chair, jumping on people. They even picked up the phone of one of the staff of the salon, and the child was literally fiddling with somebody's phone. I was watching videos. I was like, it was just like, this is wrong. And I'm not saying that. People will say, my child is just, my child is extroverted. That is not being extroverted. Being extroverted does not mean you're raising a child who is unruly. Really. Then I'm still going to go to the aspect of teaching your children, and I'm not necessarily a safety expert, but there are a few things that you can teach you. You have to tell your child this is when we moved to a new house. In short, before we moved in my old house, I showed my son, see, this is. It's for cooking. It's fire. Yeah, it's good. We use it for cooking, but it has consequences. It can burn. I told him when we moved to the new house, I said, this is a gas cylinder. If you play with it, this is you have to teach your children consequences for their actions. And am I saying your children will make mistakes? Obviously, and that's why you're a parent. You're there to give them grace. You're there to literally give grace, like just like God shows you grace, because you make mistakes too. Yeah. But one of the things I know that before a child would do something that extravagant, or should I say outrageous, the child started with little things, playing with this, and the parents just taking their eyes off. You buy your child a tab, you buy your child a toy, your child steps on it and breaks it, and you're cool with it. You tell your child to pack up the toys, your child does not pack it up. And then like, give this child, I'm warning you, and you pack it up for your child, and then your child still goes there to take it. These are the things you're ruining your child. I have to say it that way. And you and I, we have to do better. We can't just keep doing, you can't keep going around and round around this cycle. Discipline your child. Discipline your child. And can I address those people that are always saying cute kid? Those people that are always saying, oh, he's such a cute kid. Your child tells you shut up. And you are saying that he's so outspoken. Excuse me, that's not being outspoken, that's being rude. Your child is rude. I think that parents, we need to be, should I use the word, you need to step out first and view what your child does from the lens of an outsider. I'll give you an example. I remember there was a day I was on a bus with my son, and I think and he saw gala or something, and he said he wanted. I'm like, oh, you have, I think he had that biscuit, or I can't remember very well now. And I was like, oh, you can have this. And then my son started crying. Like, he literally was throwing a tantrum in public. He was crying. When he started crying, I was like, oh, you want to cry? That's fine. I pitied the people on the bus, yeah, because it was going to disturb them. But anyways, Adewumi, was not going to condescend and say, oh, Jesse, because I don't want my son to disturb the people on the bus, I'm going to buy the gala for him so that there will be peace. I did not buy that gala. I'm sure I cried for at least 20 minutes, but it was fine. It was fine. I passed my message across. You would not blackmail me into buying things for you. And I think that sometimes, we're so scared about how we look, if I can put it that way. You want to look cool parent. You want to be that cool parent. You want to be that parent that is cool, that makes a child happy every time. And I believe in children being happy. I believe that children should be children. But there's a difference between children should be children and this thing that people say that it's just a child. There's a difference. There's a huge difference. Because I realize that most people that do that, they're so inconsistent. They're the first people to hit their children. Like, okay, I still went somewhere. Now that I'm talking, I still went somewhere which day, and the child was eating the nanny. I was at one shop. The child was eating the nanny, and I'm like, I was expecting. Me, if you know me, I'm going to talk. I had to say, excuse me, that's wrong. The mom did not. I was like, really? I expected the mom to say something or do something. The child was like, leave, I can't remember the name now. Leave what's that alone. In my head, I'm like, really? Really? The child was in somebody's shop, was jumping, scattering. I'm like, oh gosh. And I understand that they're extroverts. I understand that children are extroverted. I am not disregarding this. And your child being an extrovert, I've said it before, does not mean your child should be rude. Discipline your child. When your child eats someone, what do? Do you say, just me, leave there, Joe. Why are you eating him? There has to be consequences. See, God loves us so much. God loves us. We all know that God loves us. And then there are consequences. If you do this, this will happen. If you do this, this will happen. Okay, parents, please, please, please have a discipline plan. Have a discipline plan. For me now, and this discipline plan, you can review it. For me now, before now, I used to use thinking corner for my son. I realized lately that it's not working. But with draw of privileges, it's working. If I say thinking corner now, it's not big deal to my son anymore. So that's old news. No more thinking corner. Now I withdraw privileges. You know. So I just want us to do. I know it's not easy. I know you want to be a good mom. That's no parents start out parenting and the idea is you want to ruin your child. I know that. I know you have good intentions, but parenting is more than good intentions. You need to get knowledge. You need to read up. You need to have a plan. Get a discipline plan. How would we discipline our children? And some children, the way you discipline them is different from the way you discipline other children. Let's just do better. We can do better. Don't let things slide. All these people that used to say, when you read something and the child is wrong, don't go to somebody's comment section and say, oh, cute child. Excuse me, you are part of who's destroying the child. Be sincere and like, I'm concerned. It's either you say something or you don't say something, because you know now, internet troll, they will come after. They will come after you. It's the way your child behaves in church. Your child is in church. Your child is jumping everywhere. Now, I am not saying I have to draw a line here. When your child is younger, your child will walk around the church. Especially if your child doesn't have a children's church, your child will walk around. Your child will jump around. It is to be expected. But your child gets older. You have to put things in place. You have to put system. You have to even help your child to calm down in church. I'm just using church as an example. When you go outside, how does your child behave? How does, in relation to other children, what's your child like? Is your child the child that wants, if there are 5 toys somewhere, your child wants it, only me, it's my own, like the way they say, it's my toy, my toy. Now, if another child comes visiting your home and your child has toys, how does your child even share? You know, it's all these things. God will help us. Let's do better. Promise yourself, talk to yourself, I want to do better. Don't raise a monster. Let's work together, all of us. Imagine, do you know that if as a family we do better and your family does better and that family does better, we would have a better Nigeria. See, Nigeria is not going to get better until all of us in our families we do better. We have the kind of leaders we have now because of the society, and remember the family makes up the society, yeah? We grew up in, let's do better. Okay? I love you.